Radio.
Olympics update.
The U.S. men's hockey team still perfect in the preliminary round of the Winter Olympics after taking down Denmark Saturday in Milan. Team USA was forced to rally from an early deficit. Coach Mike Sullivan says they'll help his team in the long run.
Facing that adversity early in a tournament like this can be a good thing. I think it can serve us well moving forward, but I love the response from the group.
The U.S. moved to 2-0. Will wrap up group play against Germany today.
For NBC's live coverage from Italy, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating.
Keep celebrating when you bundle and save with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Hi, I'm Brandon Raffy from Raffy Law Group. I'm here to say thank you for trusting Raffy.
The heat's creeping back. If your AC's acting up, call Ace Home Services, your local veteran-operated team that's been helping the Valley Home stay cool for over 30 years. They're quick, honest, and easy to work with. Grab a free estimate at acehomeaz.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsports910.com/rules.
Parker & Sons, the Valley's AC, plumbing, and electrical experts. Call Parker.
This is calling for mostly sunny skies. We'll start to see some increasing winds as well as temperatures sitting in the 70s at around 79 degrees. Expect an overnight low in the 50s at 55 degrees. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ash Loessa.
This report is sponsored.
Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, double on Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, sparkles next Sunday.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov. A message from USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
From the Raffy Law Group Accident Attorney Studio.
Parker & Sons, the Valley's AC, plumbing, and electrical experts. Call Parker.
This report is
It's time for Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910, a show for the avid fishermen and hunters.
And I've never sat on this side of the table, but I asked my buddies for some help, my good buddies, Mr. Andrew Napoleon with A&M Graphics and Johnny Johnson with the Fishing with Johnny Johnson TV show.
Well, hello. Congratulations. Yeah, good morning. You look good on that side, Matt. You look nothing like Don McDowell. My God.
Oh, man, but let's start with you, Johnny. It's, we first got to say, before we start talking fishing, the picnic basket.
Yeah, the
out in
restaurant.
Sholo, that's you own that restaurant?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we, oh man, what are we, 13 or 14 years into owning that breakfast and lunch place, but he does a good job with it. I'm in and out, but yeah, it's a great place to eat if you like to come up and have breakfast and lunch up there in Pine Top. It's beautiful up there. Unfortunately, we have no snow. Not yet. Man,
Isn't that crazy?
Scary. Yeah.
We had like no winter this year.
Not at all.
Hopefully next week it looks like some snow's coming in. It looks like we're supposed to cool off and get some rain, so that hopefully that'll help. We definitely need it for Roosevelt Lake too. We're down a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that.
The water, but so yeah, definitely recommend the picnic basket, and of course the Fishing with Johnny Johnson television show.
Yeah, you can catch it today even on Arizona Family Sports on at 10 a.m. I think it is 10 a.m. and then on 3TV Saturdays, and then if you check your local listings, we're on during the week as well on Arizona Family Sports. So it's 4 days a week, and we've been out making new shows, and let me tell you, it hasn't been easy.
I can tell you.
Wait till we get it. Where they are.
Yeah, we'll talk some fishing here in a minute, and then my other good buddy Andrew Napoleon, A&M Graphics. I'm pretty sure my boat was the first boat that in 2006 that Andrew ever wrapped. So I'm proud to say that.
We've come a long ways. We've learned a lot. Pretty neat. We've been doing a lot of wraps. Your boat was one of the first.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I messed something up, unfortunately, it was on your boat.
Well,
Is that lightning bolt?
Yeah, remember? One of the first boats out there with a wrap. Now it seems like they're everywhere. So
Yeah.
You started with something.
Yeah. Let's talk about fishing, man.
Right.
What do you have? What lakes have you been fishing lately, John?
A lot of them. Well, Wednesday, and even though the water was low and it's been really tough there, I know that the bite there has been tough. You're either catching a big one to do well or something like that in tournaments, but the reality is the fishing ain't up to par, and it's just you got to grind it out, and you'd think with the water temperature being 58, 59, these fish would be in 2 inches of water, and believe it or not, there's a lot of them that are.
Right.
I found that out. I found I was almost fishing too deep when I had my guy out with me, and we got up in the real shallow water, started throwing some Senkos and things, and caught some fish. So we lucked out, but it wasn't a lot. We had like 9 bites all day.
Yeah, and I can add to that for Roosevelt. I've been fishing. Well, I live in Tonto Basin, so the ramp's 15 minutes away. That's a good problem to have, let me tell you. But it's hard to get motivated to run out there and fish because it's just been tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably fished the lake 4 times in the last 2 weeks, and our best day, I think we had 11 or 12 one day, and we're still catching them deep. Just drop shotting in that 30 foot of water, just slow and painfully slow. But we're still catching some fish. I mean, we went out Thursday just for a few hours and we caught 2. So it's just this is probably the transition time of year where the fish are kind of confused. It's like, oh, it's 80 degrees. Let's move up and spawn, you know. And then it's like next week's going to be what, 60 for a high.
Yeah, we like to say the fish are confused. I'm sure they know more about it than we do, but yeah, it's crazy.
It's really interesting though, because you actually not too long ago Apache Lake and did really, really well. I mean, I saw some pictures that were like, wow, Matt, you really came out there. So what makes the difference from one lake to another? You know, why is one lake on fire and another lake's not?
Apache's not on fire. We had to grind for them. You know, we only had 9 bites that day.
Or was it San Carlos that you went to that you really did
San
well?
Carlos.
Yeah.
We'll get to there. We'll get there. Anyway.
You showed us like, wow.
Yeah.
What an incredible trip that must have been.
Let's finish off on Roosevelt. You know, the funny part was that last tournament I fished, we did well. We cashed a check. You know, and we caught our fish. We tried the shallow bite, and we were catching some real good ones on crankbaits.
Yeah.
And that bite just totally went away from me. And, you know, so we went towards the main lake and just went out deep and drug that drop shot around and finally got a limit, you know, and that was enough for a check, you know, 7.5 pounds. And that's crazy. And so, I don't know, but the top guys still, you know, it still takes 20 pounds to win. So it seems like if you're in the right place at the right time when those fish decide to eat, you'll just get lucky. And, you know, and a lot of times it's, you know, there's skill involved in finding that right place.
Sure.
But just talking to the doc talk when you get back from the tournament, you know, I talked to Doug Copeland. He did real, you know, he won that tournament and did real well in the last one. You know, I'm catching my fish in 30 foot of water.
He's a shallow water fisherman.
Exactly. Yeah. He didn't catch a fish deeper than 5 foot. So they're just kind of scattered and few and far between. And even Doug, you know, he's only getting 7-8 bites a day, he said.
Yeah, you got to grind it out.
So it's just been tough this year. That spoon bite, you got on the spoon bite a while back.
But might be today. We might see that.
Well, it seems like that spoon bite was just picking up, and then those storms hit and just shut it off. You know, absolutely shut it off.
Well, here's some really good news about Roosevelt. As of today, I think it's today. Don't they take those goose boobies down?
15th. So
yeah, 15th. Yeah. So there's going to be some brand new fish that I haven't seen a lure in a few months here, and you might get some luck going over into the goose flats and things like that, maybe, and catch a few that way. But
I can tell you, I've done that many years, all excited to go. It's like, oh, man, this place has been sitting and still. It's like nothing. I just go back to the same spots.
They get lockjaw. Well, the thing is you got to remember they put those Florida strain largemouth in there, and I don't care what anybody says. And we've been fishing these lakes forever. You guys know it, and I know it. It seems like when a storm comes through or you have fronts coming through, they're a lot more temperamental.
They just get shut down.
Yeah, they get lockjaw like crazy.
And I can add to that. You know, I used to be a guide, and I just had the fish dialed in. You know, 40, 50 fish a day and even with beginner fishermen, you know, that could barely cast and still having good days on the water. Well, you know what I mean. You're a guide. And anyway, it'd be perfect. And I'd be doing several trips in a row, posting on Facebook, hey, we caught 40, 50 fish. And I had trips lined up and all that. And then the lake comes up 10 foot and turns to mud. Yeah. And now I can't find them. Yeah. It's gone. So that lake is just different every single week, it seems. So anyway, tell us about Havasu.
All right, Havasu. How many years now?
It's been a while.
29 years. That's great.
Great fish.
He wore me out. He's just such a power fisherman and great fisherman. And we went up into the Bill Williams and we flipped and we threw spinnerbaits and chatterbaits and nothing was happening. I mean, we spent 4 hours without a bite. Ugh. And he pulled us out of there and he goes, be ready to grind it out. We're going to get this show done, but we got to grind it out. And man, we slung crankbaits, and I wore my arm out. That boy can fish, let me tell you. And before you get bit, and then that's all of a sudden, beep, beep, you know. So he just grinds it out, puts his head down, believes in what he's doing, and just keeps going to get that limit. And you know, a lot of us, and I told him flat out, I had to quit 2 hours into this and went out and started drop shotting somewhere. You know, and he just grinds it out, and he says, and then when you do get bit, it's a good one. And I'm liking, he kept the fish honest in the reeds and all kinds of stuff. It'll be a great show. Great episode to watch because you'll learn a lot from Roy Hawk. About what he does.
One of the best in Arizona, if not the best
without
in Arizona.
Without a doubt. But it was slow there, too. Let me tell you.
I think you wrapped his boat, as a matter of fact, didn't you?
We do a lot of work with Roy. Yeah, he is such a blessing in the industry, not only as a bass fisherman, just someone that teaches other people, takes in the kids, helps other fishermen. I've had times where I've had my problems on the water, and Roy is right there. What do you need? And just a great all-around guy and a great friend.
He's been He's been as humble and as nice to me before I ever won a tournament, and as he is now. So
yeah, truly a class act. That's true. Love the guy.
So real quick, we just got a second. I'll just talk about San Carlos because it's kind of being kept a secret a little. They were trying to, and I posted some pictures, and now everybody wants to go. It's a dirt ramp. We got stuck on the ramp. Be real careful if you're going to go there. We launched at Soda Canyon.
That's him talking you out of it.
No. Be real careful with vandalism and that kind of stuff. But yeah, we caught a lot of fish. We caught I'm sorry, we didn't catch very many fish, but we caught a lot of weight. We had 5 fish for 27 pounds. But we only caught 7 fish all day. So that's my San Carlos report. We caught them on crankbaits and just Texas rig crawls.
Wow. Well, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad I haven't been able to go over there yet.
It's been years. I haven't been there in a very long time.
He tried talking me into doing a show there, but.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up for a minute.
I've been out on the water a couple times, just fun fishing. It's hard to get away, but
all right, we'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to jump into a break.
Pay some bills.
Yeah.
From Montana to the shores of Hawaii. This ain't your grandma's coffee talk. It's 406 Coffee and Chaos, where rifles roar, coffee pours, and aloha meets the wild western soul. We are slinging truth, gear, and attitude served with a side of mayhem. Grab a cup, brace yourself, and let the madness begin. 406 Coffee and Chaos brewed with aloha, seasoned in gunpowder, served up straight from the big sky. 406coffeeandchaos.com or on Facebook at 406 Coffee and Chaos.
In today's world, personal and family safety, home and business are at risk. Roll Shutter Systems Shutters protects your family, home, and business assets, providing security, privacy, weather protection, noise reduction, and all built for specific needs. Roll Shutter Systems is family owned and operated for 40 years and manufactured in Phoenix, Arizona. They ship and install throughout the USA, Canada, and Mexico. For your free estimate, click RollShutterSystemsUSA.com or call 623-869-7057.
It's time to join the Howl Pack. In 2025, Howl for Wildlife campaigns will inspire advocacy, influence decision makers, and build resistance to the constant attacks from the anti-hunting industry. Howl is committed to protecting hunting, angling, and trapping opportunities nationwide, and we invite you to join the Howl Pack. Howl for Wildlife is committed to winning. Visit howlforwildlife.org to learn more and join the pack.
Hey, I heard that. Did you? Arizona Cattle Growers Association monthly publication provides essential updates on issues impacting the ranching industry in our great state and nationally. The Arizona Catalog provides industry news from the University of Arizona, National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the Arizona Farm Bureau, National and Arizona Department of Agriculture, and others. Timely notifications of legislation on local, state, and federal levels, as well as other issues that may affect the ranching community. Spotlight on rancher highlights, activities, events, and dialogue from our president, executive director, board members fight the fight for you. Regular features include cattle growers reports, cattle comments, activities for kids, and animal health. The Arizona Catalog monthly magazine is created by ranchers for ranchers. Get your subscription today at azcattlegrowers.org or call 602-267-1129 and then ask how you can join the Arizona Cattle Growers Association. What's on your plate?
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
At Lowe's.
How big is that elk, whitetail, moose, or mule deer? In the world of big game hunting, there's nothing better than having your rack on the wall and shown around the outdoor world. Head to huntingfishing.com and show us your rack. Now back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910.
All right, everybody, we're back. I'm Matt Shura with Andrew Napoleon and Johnny Johnson. We're going to finish up on some fishing reports real quick, and then we got some stories to tell, of course. There's no shortage of stories among the three of us. We traveled together in some bigger tournaments,
many years,
some pro tournaments all over the West Coast. And
might learn something about tournament anglers real quick right here, huh?
We got some stories, let me tell you. But I'll just throw this out. I went to Apache Lake, and we actually had a good day. We had 16 pounds, and we tried all the shallow stuff, the structures, and you know, it's hard to find one that somebody's not sitting on now, but you know, the secret's out. And you know, we dumped 17,000 Christmas trees. Well, we helped dump.
Wow,
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, a bunch of Christmas trees. So there's a bunch of new structure, and those should last 3 to 4 years, I believe. And yeah, that's really going to help that lake out. Just like when they first put the structure in Havasu, it really just, that lake went from 10 pounds to wind to 25 pounds to wind.
Yeah.
You know, remember? So,
yeah.
But yeah, so we ended up having to go deep again. That's my go-to. You know, when I'm struggling, if you see a spinning rod in my hand, you know it's tough. And we put 5 in the boat and just happened to catch a 6-pounder. Third big fish of the tournament, and again, just drop shotting. And one of my go-to colors lately is, you know, it's always been oxblood. I always go back to my oxblood worm, you know, and a curl tail. I like the curl tail because that curl flutters as long as it goes down. But I was just using a straight tail watermelon magic, and you just fish in painfully slow, anywhere from 15 to 30, and just fishing slow. So that's my Apache report, and that's all I got.
I've been out to
where have you been, Andrew?
I went up to rather quickly, and to be honest with you, I didn't catch anything when I was out there. I spent a lot of time trying to catch up to this younger generation. I cannot do this forward-facing sonar to save my life, but I'm trying. I'm really trying hard to learn. And I spent a lot of time out there. There was other guys out there that were with us. I didn't see anybody catch any fish around us. The water was really cold. What was good, though, is the water was running, and anytime they turned that water on, it usually turns the fish on.
Yes.
But we could not get bit. And I just spent a lot of time on my graph, trying to learn the graphs. You know, we've got some people that are really talented in dialing them in. Friend of ours, Daniel Elias, and Doc, they were out there, and they ended up catching 2 fish that I saw them catch. And, you know, they're really good with that. He jumped on my boat, helped me out, tried to get it dialed in, showing me some of the things that he did. But Saguaro seems to be up and down. Some guys are catching them. Mm-hmm. We had 5 different boats out there that we were all talking to, and Daniel was the only one that put 2 fish in the boat. And I watched him with his graph tell me, there it is, watch this, and boom, he's got a fish on. So I was just like, man, if you don't step up to this new generation of fishing, I don't think we're going to be able to compete. We've got to make changes.
Well, that's very true. It's like, I think probably Hank Parker said it best. You know, our old dads, it's like the flip phones. I'm never going to swap from a flip phone.
I saw that.
Smartphones. And if you don't get with the times, you're just going to fall behind because it ain't going anywhere.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, I can add to that with the forward-facing sonar.
Yeah.
I took a trip to Apache Lake, and Dash Dawson's his name. He's a real good fisherman, but he's 20. I was winning tournaments before he was born. you know, and I thought we went up the lake and throwing drop shot, and it's like, kids, let me show you how to catch some fish on a tough day. It was windy and cold, you know, just not good deal. But anyway, he ended up taking the front of the boat. He wouldn't even make a cast if he didn't see a fish.
Yeah.
And it was cool to watch how he worked. You know, he was throwing a jerk bait, and you could actually see the fish chasing the bait, but they never ate it. They'd follow it, but they wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the day, the wind laid down, so he could really see that sonar. And he's calling his shots. Hey, that's a 3-pounder. You know, that's a 3.5-pounder. And I'm just like, come on, kid. Who is this kid?
That's interesting. Daniel made that statement about the size of what he saw on his graph. He could tell.
Well, here's what happened. Right as I'm kind of rolling my eyes, he goes, he's got it. It was a 3-pounder. And he goes, that was 3.5. And he goes, you got it. It was 3.5. And he points over to the left side of this little pocket and says, I guarantee that's 5.5, 6. So I cast my crankbait over there, and it was 5.91. Wow. So it's like they're calling their shots. So these guys, they find a school of fish, and even Ty has talked about it. They won't even waste their time on a school of 2-pounders.
No, it's just like sight fishing. You know, you go by, you let somebody else waste their time playing with those little guys.
That's just a whole different kind of mentality of fishing, because I don't have that kind of discipline. I want to catch fish.
Yeah.
So if I want to go smaller, bigger.
I want to go fishing.
What you figured out that day is we ain't as good as we once was.
That's the truth.
I was at Bartlett, though, and I did a show there, and they raised all that water coming out of Horseshoe.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't
when
know
all the campers get drowned.
When we go do a show, you know, I flip a coin to see where we're going. We decide, let's go there. We could probably catch quantity, whatever. And I always pick the rotten days to go do these things. But anyways, I guess they brought the lake up. I don't know if it's 20 feet, 15 feet. I don't know, but it was 84% full when we got there. The water was clear. The water was 52 degrees when everything else is 55 to 60. And you're like, what is going on? And we were the only boat on the ramp. And I'm like, Darren looked at me, and he goes, yep, this is going to be a fun day. He says, should we just pack it up and go home now? And I'm like, no, that's what they want to see, is us try to find a way to catch these fish when it's like these kind of conditions. We fished all day, and at about 4:30, well, it was about 2:30, we looked at each other and we're like, well, we could head home and get home in a decent hour and just chalk this up to a loss, you know. And I said, we got to deal with rush hour traffic by the time we get out of here. We might as well just stay till dark. And I found something at 4:30 and got the show done. Throwing a little Ned rig on. I went to the main lake where the water was the warmest, and throwing a little Ned rig, we started catching them. And I'm like, been drop shotting, been spinner baiting, been doing all this, can't get it done. Went up in the river, crank baiting, and end up with a little Ned rig catching.
You get excited when you finally caught one? Did you do the hoo hee hee?
Oh man, I did more than that. I never put that in the show, because when we got off the lake, I'm like, go ahead, you can say it. You can say it. Super Bass Man.
Oh, believe me, I've had to use that so many times in a tournament. Not catching no fish, and people are losing their minds on the water. And it's like, Johnny, do you think that Bass Man will show up any time of the day?
Yeah, he's always doing that. When's Super Bass Man coming out?
That's funny. But, well, Gary had a guide trip out there, 6 hours, and Gary sent guides on that lake several days a week.
Yeah, he knows that lake.
6-hour trip. He had 2 fish a couple weeks back. So, but anyway, let's shift gears.
All right.
Let's tell some stories real quick.
Oh my God.
So the one that sticks out in my mind was the Lake Almanor.
Oh, that was a heck of a trip.
Oh man.
I've never, I'm
that was the Apex tournament, right?
The Apex.
What a beautiful lake, beautiful place. Everything was fantastic.
Well,
except
we were having a good time, and I'm on the phone in my camper, my motorhome.
I'm backing my boat in.
Yeah, well, you were in your truck.
Yeah.
You were in the house.
And with my wife. I mean, we were inside the house. I can't remember. I think she was cooking dinner for us, sketty dinner or something like that.
So I'm sitting in my motorhome, and some of my friends mess with me sometimes. And they start rocking my motorhome. They get 3 or 4 people rocking it. And I just hate, I don't think it's good for the suspension. It just rocks everything. And I'm yelling at Andrew. Andrew, stop. And it's like, I thought it was Andrew just messing with me.
I can assure you that's not how he said it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We're on the
Anyway, my wheels were coming off the ground, I swear. And I didn't think it was funny. I was not happy. And Andrew's yelling at me, thinking I'm messing with him.
My truck was rocking back and I've never in my life experienced anything like that. I've been in some pretty crazy places, but the ground was literally moving. The trees are shaking. And
you should have been in that house.
Yeah.
That house.
Tell us about the house.
Well, I was the first one out of the house because I had to look back to find out where my wife was
behind.
No, actually, I think I ran over her to get out of the house. I was like, get me out of here, man. I've never heard boards pop like that. It felt like somebody was breaking 2x4s in that house, and it was an A-frame, remember? And, and I'm like, let's get out of here. And then I go outside, and I'm watching my truck in my boat, and I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind, I've never been through an earthquake, but do I step out on the ground? Is it going to open up?
Right.
I don't know.
I was scared to death.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know the numbers. Wasn't it like a 6?
As soon as we realized what was happening, then things got real, surreal, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is happening? I was yelling at you for shaking my truck.
The bar,
yeah, remember the bar?
There lost all their alcohol off the shelves.
Oh, that was awful. Everything was laying on the floor.
They said that the earthquake started in the lake. Right there at the lake. Yeah.
And we had to go
fish it the next day.
hump, actually, that we were all worried. I was worried about hitting.
Yeah.
That hump that's right under the surface.
Better, I can tell you that. I never caught fish.
Jeez.
I was wondering how it was going to affect the fish, but we went out and caught some fish the next day. But
it was tough fishing when that circuit was tough when you never been to the lake, and it's just, I don't know.
You know what's really interesting is everyone thinks it's the bass fishing on these trips that we're doing. It's just fishing. Some of the things you experience along the way, the people you meet, the things you see, and like the earthquake that I've never been in before. I think it's awesome, these things you get to share with one another.
I didn't think it was awesome at all. I was life and death scared, and I was a firefighter. So, well, and you were in the Marines.
My wife, she went, well, I've been through a tornado in Alabama, and now I've been through an earthquake.
Yep. Yeah, so we have a lot more stories. I can tell you that. But we're gonna wrap this up for now and go to a break. We're here on Fox Sports 910.
Thanks for calling Grand Avenue Mini Storage. We are located at 6 West Grand Avenue. We have units ranging from 4 foot by 4 foot all the way up to a 20 by 20. Yes, sir. I do think the 4 foot by 4 foot will hold all of your IRS crashed hard drives. No, sir. I don't think the 20 by 20 will hold all the people the White House has thrown under the bus, but do have room for that bus. Grand Avenue Mini Storage. Call us at 602-246-0680. 602-246-0680.
The premier monthly print and online publication in the Southwest is celebrating their 10th year anniversary. Award-winning Arizona Boating and Water Sport and its sister publication, the Western Outdoor Times, cover current topics ranging from boating, camping, shooting, and water sports, fishing, wildlife, conservation, RVing, outdoor safety, and a complete schedule of community events. Arizona Boating and Water Sports and the Western Outdoor Times are free print publications available at over 500 locations and online. Sign up for yours at azbw.com and get the free weekly newsletter. For more information, contact Jim Allen at 480-947-6219 or email him at jim@azbw.com.
What? You missed again?
Yeah, but I looked cool doing it.
That's because you were holding an Atheros rifle. Sleek, reliable, and built to make you look like you meant to miss on purpose. Whether you're at the range or the end of the world, our rifles won't fail you. But we can't promise your aim won't. Under new ownership, quality rifles with the same deadly bite. Atheros Rifle Company. Because even your mother-in-law respects this kind of firepower. AtherosRifle.com. Or call us at 540-849-4674.
It's time to join the Howl Pack. In 2025, Howl for Wildlife campaigns will inspire advocacy, influence decision makers, and build resistance to the constant attacks from the anti-hunting industry. Howl is committed to protecting hunting, angling, and trapping opportunities nationwide, and we invite you to join the Howl Pack. Howl for Wildlife is committed to winning. Visit howlforwildlife.org to learn more and join the pack.
If you're a rancher, farmer, or involved in wildlife habitat enhancement, then you need to know Southwest Ranch Supply for your needs. Southwest Ranch Supply is a distributor for quality American-made products. Vertical and direct burial water tanks, Numex polypipe, RDF aluminum troughs and spring boxes, Rainmaker drinkers, Western clay bentonite and pond seal, Redmond agricultural salt and minerals in bulk or block, solar well conversion, panels, pumps, and structural panel supports. Contact us at southwestranchsupply.com or 623-221-7655 for your free project survey and estimate to stretch your project budget and ensure you have the right products for your projects. We run full truckloads, split truckloads, and deliver direct to your allotment. Southwest Ranch Supply is your partner in conservation. 623-221-7655. Again, contact us at southwestranchsupply.com or 623-221-7655. Southwest Ranch Supply, proud member of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Liquid Death Sparkling Energy, the better for you, easy drinking energy drink.
Back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910 and always on our free iHeartRadio app. Here's the Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
All right, this is Matt Shura with Andrew Napoleon and Johnny Johnson. And we have a special guest on the line. We figured you didn't want to hear about fishing the whole time, so one of my good buddies is staying with me out in Tonto Basin. I think it's Unit 22. It's Kenny Johnson, and it just happens to be Johnny's cousin Kenny. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Let's hear a hunting report, and tell us what you're hunting.
Yeah, so. And we came up last weekend, and it was real tough. It was real dry. Couldn't really see much sign. Ended up just busted. Didn't see anything. Glassing. And finally, we got some rain on Friday, and we were able to track and locate which directions they're going. But they're just in the thickest, nastiest stuff. So
we're talking about the javelina?
Javelina.
Yeah, they're big pig. And what's weird is I've had this hunt 7-8 times, and we always see piglets. And we had with the drought, they're not having the babies, so I think their herds are down. What they normally do, since we've been in drought for a while. And so that's been a little tougher, but we actually were able to track some, and we got into some yesterday and got a shot, but I had one within like 5 yards of me huffing at me, and but ended up not getting one. We missed. Then we spent the rest of the day just glassing, and we're getting ready to head out as soon as we're done with the show here too. But it's been a tough hunt, but it's always fun.
Well, you said that. You said that one. You said 5 yards from you, and you missed. I think you forgot to tell everybody why you didn't have your gun, right?
Yeah, I was actually I'm getting old, I guess, and lazy, and I didn't shoot my bow, so we just brought a muzzleloader out and a handgun. But I wasn't smart enough to bring my handgun, so we had one muzzleloader between two of us, and it kept just running back and forth to her and me, and we'd try to get the gun to each other. It was just a mess yesterday.
It's got to be interesting hunting with a muzzleloader because it's got a delay when you fire. Is that still correct?
Well, no, you can fire just like a normal center fire rifle as soon as you do. It just takes a lot longer to reload because you have to put in the pellets, pack the bullet, put your primer in. So it isn't one of those things where you just bolt it or pretty much just get a bullet right back in. You pretty much have to take some time to reload.
The old
process
days.
there, yeah.
The old days.
The old musket loader, that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, when I first started, I went hunting. I had a guy that had it was a flintlock. So it was one of the kind where you had to dump the actual gunpowder in a little bowl on the side of the barrel.
Oh.
And he actually had the round bullets. You put paper patching is what it's called, and you have to pack it down. And then you actually the flint, instead of a primer, it's almost like sparking a match, and it basically lights that gunpowder and goes down in the hole and shoots the bullet. But that's like old school. Back in the day.
That's what I was picturing.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
The old pirate days.
He got me good.
With the drought, they always say that if there's no water, they'll get most of their hydration off of eating prickly pear cactus. And we got in some areas where it was just fields of it, and we didn't see any rooting or any of them eating it either. So it's been kind of weird this year.
Huh. Well, which direction are you headed today? What part of the Unit 22, which is basically the Tonto Basin area, right?
Well, it goes from the Salt River to across like kind of the Beeline Road where there's a Hatcher Road to the north. Salt River is your south, and then Tonto Creek is your east end, and then right around. It's a big area.
Yeah. Which way you headed today?
I think we're going to go ahead and run across over towards the Tonto. Even though we got that good rain on Friday, it just soaked into the ground. It was so dry here.
Yeah.
That, I think the only creek I've even seen running is Sycamore.
Well, I saw a little bit of water running in the Tonto.
No, the Tonto, but I'm talking about the smaller ones off like Fort
Oh, yeah.
And the little creeks on that side. Sycamore is the only one that we saw water in. But we're pretty much going to go closer, I think, to the river and start there and see if maybe that'll help. Find some really thick cover and maybe a little closer to water and see if we can. But glassing, we didn't glass anything. Basically, we found them hiking and we just busted them up. So I think we're going to hike through some really thick. They get in that real thick cover and with all the cactuses and everything that wants to eat you.
Oh wow.
Well, I can tell you, I was too busy fishing. I went hunting one time for dove and didn't get one, and my allergies were so bad walking through this field, and I was just miserable. I couldn't even see because my eyes were just watering. And Johnny, you don't hunt?
I don't hunt. Matter of fact,
I hunt fish.
Now that we have cousin Kenny on the phone, he got me good one time. I was kind of kidding around with him a little bit, and I said, "Hey, I know you're going elk hunting. Between Sholo and Heber, there's always elk right on the road. I mean, I don't know why you got to go get all dressed up and put all the makeup on and all this camouflage, waste all this money." And he turned around and looked at me, and we're driving down the road, and he says, "Well, that's fine." He says, "Why do you even bother to get a bass boat then? Just go to Bass Pro and fish in the tank."
Yeah, there you go. Cousin Kenny got a new boat, a beautiful boat. We took it out. It ran great, so had a good time. But yeah, on the way back from the lake, there's a dead javelina in the road. We had to swerve around. I'm like, put a tag on that, man. Well, here's a conversation.
Takes the fun out of it.
Here's a conversation Kenny and I had. The one thing there's two things, when the hunting shows, they're whispering and all that. And I've said this before, but then, they shoot it and it's dead, whatever they're hunting, and they're still whispering. That's number one. Disappear, and they cover their face, squirt urine on themselves, whatever. And then they put a bright orange hat and
see color, they don't know.
Yeah, that's what I
don't know. That is funny.
That's just something I always scratch my head on. Is that, but I don't know, Kenny. Anything else? Anything else to add with the hunting in Unit 22 for javelina?
As far as your last statements is, the reason they're still whispering is most of the time there's more people that have tags, so that way that you don't scare off the animals.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense.
Oh yeah, because that gunshot wouldn't scare them.
What they're trying to say, right? They're whispering.
Yeah.
So you put your TV on 10 so you can hear the max volume so you can hear them, and then all of a sudden a commercial pumps in and it just blows you out of the saddle. You're like, what in the world?
Well, do you remember that?
That's true.
Johnny and I I was a guest on Johnny's show, and we were at Saguaro in that cove, and oh man. I don't know if we already caught one or something, but we were just talking to the camera. Johnny's doing his thing, we're talking to the camera, and all of a sudden, this boat, that's covered in camouflage is behind these reeds and fires off a shot. And
we didn't see him.
What was it, 30 yards from us?
Yeah, we didn't see them. They weren't wearing orange. I can tell you.
I mean,
we're all looking at each other going, did you get shot? You get shot.
I'm surprised Darren, your cameraman, didn't drop the camera, because
that scared us. We're like, let's get out of here.
It more than scared me. That was incredibly loud. But, well, Kenny, we wish you the best of luck. Today's your last day, right, you said?
No, we actually got tomorrow, too. So we're hoping to get some today, so we're wanting to go fishing tomorrow and take the boat out.
Oh,
there you go.
Well, sounds like the hunting's been almost as good as the fishing's been lately around here.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're supposed to get some rain.
Get him, Cousin Kenny. Go get us something.
I was going to say, hey, Matt, you took me out guiding. You took me out a couple days ago on your side-by-side.
Oh.
Yeah, you did for a side-by-side ride. That was fun. There's so many trails out there in Tonto Basin. It's it's just there's miles of it. I had
cool.
I had a trailer for my side-by-side, and I'm like, why would I take it anywhere? I could drive that side-by-side for the rest of my life and still not see all the trails. You can go all the way to the backside of the lake, and yeah, that's awesome.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, we got to go. Appreciate you talking to us, and we wish you the best of luck out there hunting. And,
good to hear from you, buddy.
Good luck, guys.
Talk to you later,
Good luck, buddy. Be safe. And we're going to flip into a break, and we are here on Fox Sports 910.
If you're new in the valley and want to fish or don't know where or how to, contact the Goodyear Bass Club, sanctioned by BASS. The Goodyear Bass Club is a teaching club with boater and non-boater slots open. Enjoy the benefits of BASS, the Arizona Bass Federation Nation, and meet some awesome anglers. For more information, call Mike Hoffworth, 623-229-4650, or check him out online, ArizonaBassNation.com. Hey, let's go fishing.
Bass is king.
Arizona Catalog, the official magazine of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association monthly publication, provides essential updates on issues impacting the ranching industry in our great state and nationally. The Arizona Catalog provides industry news from the University of Arizona, National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the Arizona Farm Bureau, National and Arizona Department of Agriculture, and others. Timely notifications of legislation on local, state, and federal levels, as well as other issues that may affect the ranching community. Spotlight on rancher highlights, activities, events, and dialogue from our president, executive director, board members, fight the fight for you. Regular features include cattle growers reports, cattle comments, activities for kids, and animal health. The Arizona Catalog monthly magazine is created by ranchers for ranchers. Get your subscription today at azcattlegrowers.org or call 602-267-1129 and then ask how you can join the Arizona Cattle Growers Association and what's on your plate.
In today's world, personal and family safety, home and business are at risk. Roll Shutter Systems Shutters protects your family, home, and business assets, providing security, privacy, weather protection, noise reduction, and all built for specific needs. Roll Shutter Systems is family owned and operated for 40 years and manufactured in Phoenix, Arizona. They ship and install throughout the USA, Canada, and Mexico. For your free estimate, click RollShutterSystemsUSA.com or call 623-869-7057.
From the mountains of Montana to the shores of Hawaii, this ain't your grandma's coffee talk. Welcome to 406 Coffee and Chaos, where Big Sky Grit meets Island Aloha, and things get wild fast. We talk rifles, outdoors, politics, and life. No filters, just full send. 1 minute, it's elk hunting. The next is spam moose-bee and suppressors. Brew a strong cup, hold on tight, and embrace the beautiful madness. This is 406 Coffee and coffee brewed in Montana, seasoned with aloha and delivered with a heavy dose of freedom. Hey, you like beef Bretta? Only if it's elk shot from 600 yards with my 406 Hui Hui build. From Lava Rock to the Rocky Mountains, Montana 406 Rifle Hui Hui blends Pono Island style with rugged Western soul precision. So sharp, even your tutu gets chicken skin. Born in Big Sky Country, raised with aloha. Whether you're hunting mule deer or chasing pigs in the jungle, shoot straight, stay humble. M406RHH.com or call 406-266-1923.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Every Olympic dream starts with a first glide. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build confidence, strength, and joy on the ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com.
At Lowe's Blue.
Make sure you sign up for the weekly hunting fishing newsletter to stay up to date with the latest outdoorsman news across the nation. Sign up today at huntingfishing.com. Now back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910.
All right, everybody, we're back. Matt Shura with Andrew Napoleon, Johnny Johnson, and since we don't hunt, we're just going to talk some more fishing. And we have a couple stories. I fished my first tournament in 1988, and we've had some experiences over the years, and one that just some of the funny ones that stand out. Johnny and I were fishing the night tournaments, and we had a run. I don't know. Yeah. We won. We were doing one year. We won 4 out of 6 of them. I think 1 year, and we were just. It was kind of we couldn't do anything wrong kind of thing, and. I set the hook. I think I was throwing a 10-inch power worm, and I set the hook, and I felt, a head shake. What felt to me like a head shake.
Yeah.
And I just loading up on it. It's like, got one. So Johnny runs up there with the net, and I'm like, no, this is a good one. This is a good one. And I'm feeling it, and it's like, no, you know what, dude? It might be a log. And all of a sudden, I feel more. I'm like, it starts wiggling again. I'm like, dude, it's a fish. It's a fish. We're all stoked and think we have the tournament won. I get it up next to the boat. Big old turtle.
Yeah, I remember.
Turtle? You caught a turtle?
I caught a giant. That thing had to be 20 pounds, right?
It was huge.
Maybe more than 20 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah,
and I snagged it in the butt. I was feeling the wiggles, and like I said, it was the biggest turtle I've seen turtles in the water before, but this thing was just giant. And
I remember that.
I don't know. I'm sure people listening will be. I'm sure I could Google it and find out, but those turtles don't have gills, right?
No,
they just hold their breath forever. I caught them.
I don't know enough about them.
I caught them in 20 foot of water.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So, what the heck?
I don't know.
I've seen them out there. I've never
I'm wondering if he might have been swimming and caught him on the way down. I don't know, as your lure was sinking or something.
Obviously, I'm guessing they just hold their breath for a long time and come up and get a gulp of air. I guess. Who knows? But so what?
That's crazy.
You were talking about Mojave?
Well, you're talking about, fishing with Johnny. I've been very blessed to be able to fish with this man for many, many years as my partner. And boy, do you get to see some things There's several sides to him, and I love all of them. But there's a super bass man that'll come out every now and then, and boy, when that guy comes out, it's amazing.
Little animated.
Yeah, locked in, focused, and just really knows what he's doing. The regular Johnny, I love him too, but he.
Oh, here we go. We going to the dark side, or what?
You know, we were at Mojave one time fishing a championship. I think you were fishing out there with us, Matt. Weren't you with us at that tournament? Jacob Scholl won this tournament, and so
yes,
we were having a good time. We were catching some fish, and it wasn't easy. Kind of struggling, and Johnny was doing his thing with his drop shot. He's always been a great drop shot fisherman, and I think that's how you won the U.S. Open at one time.
Yeah,
with that drop
big
shot.
part of it. Yeah.
But we knew that we were going to need another fish, at least maybe 2 pounds, to make sure that we were going to be up and above, because it was tough fishing. So as we're going long, time's getting ready to cut down, and we're running a little bit out of time, and Johnny hooks into a really good fish. And the water at Mojave is pretty clear. You can see the fish.
Oh, you see
when you hook into those fish, you see them right away. And so he's fighting this fish, and he's getting it closer, and it was just like a fluke. It looked like his line was wrapped around the fish. But as he tried to bring him up and say he horsed him a bit, trying to get him into the boat as quick as he could, and all you heard was just a quick pop. And it was in that instant that there was you ever seen Spider-Man where there's the black suit and the red suit? This black suit guy came out of
Incredible
Johnny
Hulk?
I had never seen before in my life. I saw a rod go flying by my head. I heard things I've never heard before. The boat was taking a beating like you would not believe. That poor Mercury engine was getting beat with his boot like you would not believe. And it was a tantrum like I had never seen before. It was amazing. I had never seen that side of Johnny. Like, oh my God, what is happening to this man? Well, lo and behold, that was the one fish that as we weighed in, Jacob Scholl, ended up winning. But that was a 3-pound fish
I went
that we
sat
lost.
at the back of the boat, and I told him, get out of that seat, the back seat. I said, you get up on front. Amateurs don't need to be up front. I was so
fit, and he didn't do anything wrong, honestly, I've watched him bring so many fish in.
I just
over the
knew
years.
that was the winning fish. I knew it in my heart. Because it was a 2-day tournament, if I remember.
I've been there.
I knew it in my heart. And I'm like, we go in, and that's what we lost by, and I was just, I was devastated.
That's painful.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, nobody likes to lose fish, but you know what's even more painful? When you're the reason of that fish. I remember going head-to-head with you at a tournament, Hidden Lake, I think we were at. And, we try to be dramatic when we're on the water. You're on the fishing show, so you want that camera to catch it, and you want the fish to come flying out of the water. So I've gotten in the habit.
It's good TV.
Yeah, I've gotten in the habit of being slow with the net. I won't go running up there. I wait, let him play with it, let it come out of the water. So unfortunately, I let it play a little bit too long. I didn't put the net under, and we watched a big fish, about 8+, just kind of slip away off. And I saw him again. The dark side came out.
Then you hit me in the head with a rod when you set the hook.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like that little lake's not that big, and
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we heard you guys screaming across the lake.
So
but the funniest part is that little head-to-head TV show we did. We were competing against each other, so we had both had our own fish in the boat, and we only had 3 fish we weighed in.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious because I weighed my fish, and it weighed 15 pounds. And I'm like, God, I thought those 3 fish were bigger than that. Then we weigh your fish.
15 pounds.
My scale only went to 15 pounds. Remember what we had? 3 fish for like 20.
Yeah, it was a great lake to fish at the time.
I wonder how that lake's doing. I think I heard or saw it. It's for sale, actually. So
it might be.
I know they were doing weddings, and they had a bar out there. They fixed it up really nice.
Oh, yeah.
And just so you know, I'm not the only one that loses my temper.
Well,
oh, here we go.
At Havasu Lake, this is great. This is a quick story, but at Havasu Lake, we went out, and Matt had told me, he says, hey, man, we're going to go to this spot, throw a jerkbait. And I'm like, okay. I thought he meant throw it when we first started. And we were in a lot of grass at the time, and I started throwing that thing. He says, but not here. And all of a sudden, I hooked into one. So we had a couple fish. We went and fished some cages, and I caught another big fish or whatever. And we're off to a great start, really off to a great start. Well, Matt's wanting to go to some of his other spots that he has marked. And we go to his, every time we went to one of the spots that he had marked, there was a boat on it. And I've never seen him come so unglued.
I think after the fourth spot.
After the fourth spot, he's throwing his arms in the air, and he's just throwing a tantrum, and I'm like, holy moly.
We're running down the lake, and I was like,
I could tell he was just a fire in his eyes. I could tell, because we wanted to win this tournament. So we get to another spot, it would have been your fifth spot, whatever, and we get there, and we're finally able to fish there, and he stops the boat, and he just kind of starts idling in, and I could tell he's looking forward and really upset, and I look over at him, I go, hey, Matt, because I'm trying to calm him down at this point, and he didn't see me. I said, Matt, look at me. Look at me, and he knew what was coming down the pipe.
He's trying to make my head right.
He turns around and goes, no!
We got to flip into another break. We are at Fox Sports 910.
Don McDowell Outdoor Radio has been sponsored by Elevate Design Group.
If you're a rancher, farmer, or involved in wildlife habitat enhancement, then you need to know Southwest Ranch Supply for your needs. Southwest Ranch Supply is a distributor for quality American-made products. Vertical and direct burial water tanks, Numex polypipe, RDF aluminum troughs and spring boxes, Rainmaker drinkers, Western clay bentonite and pond seal, Redmond agricultural salt and minerals in bulk or block, solar well conversion, panels, pumps, and structural panel supports. Contact us at southwestranchsupply.com or 623-221-7655 for your free project survey and estimate to stretch your project budget and ensure you have the right products for your projects. We run full truckloads, split truckloads, and deliver direct to your allotment. Southwest Ranch Supply is your partner in conservation. 623-221-7655. Again, contact us at southwestranchsupply.com or 623-221-7655. Southwest Ranch Supply, proud member of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association.
This segment is brought to you by Mr. Crappie Slab.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at StraightTalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation, where we say stop whatever you're doing, baby, and dance. Because movement is just one of the ways you can fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information, visit fightarthritispain.org. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
From the Raffy Law Group Accident Attorney Studio.
Call Raffy.
KGME Phoenix, KESZ HD3 Phoenix. Guaranteed human.
Parker & Sons, the Valley's AC, plumbing, and electrical experts. Call Parker.
Is calling for mostly sunny skies. We'll start to see some increasing winds as well as temperatures sitting in the 70s at around 79 degrees. Expect an overnight low in the 50s at 55 degrees. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ash Loessa.
This report is sponsored by Superstar Car Wash.
It's a new year, new deal at Superstar Car Wash. Kick off the year with 30% off for 3 months on an unlimited Super Protect membership. Wash more, worry less, and save big in the new year. Visit superstarcarwash.com for details. Superstar Car Wash. The car wash with superpowers.
Don McDowell Outdoor Radio is sponsored by Southwest Ranch Supply. It's time for Coffee and Chaos with the guys from the 406 Rifle Company, Captain Chemo and Sheriff Wynn.
From the mountains of Montana to the shore.
All right, everybody, we're back. We have definitely have some more fishing stories for you with the three of us. I'm Matt Shura with Andrew Napoleon and Johnny Johnson, and
we've had some neat trips, man. Some really neat trips.
It's been really cool to see the different lakes. I mean, Clear Lake's by far my favorite. That was really cool. And
reminds me of my old Rainbow Lake. That
one of the most beautiful lakes, man. Incredible lake.
I think something for the young anglers too is one thing we haven't talked about that I thought was really cool about us doing all that traveling together was us working together in these tournaments to try to help each other out, because there's always everybody's got their little squad. They go out there, and we finally figured out that, hey, man, you can't just go do it by yourself sometimes. It's great to have guys that are in the tournament. We can all help each other, not step on each other's toes or anything, but help each other, try to figure out what this bite is and help us in tournaments and stuff, because that's what they're doing in the pros. I hate to say it, but
no,
it's
they have
the
a
truth.
group that they trust.
Exactly.
They trust. Somebody is not going to tell you baloney that sends you on a track where you're lost. And, there was actually a tournament at Meade, I remember specifically, where I was catching some decent fish, and, it's on a flat, and it's, 2 miles long.
Here we go.
Hey, is it cool if I swing by? It's like, I'd say that flat's at least a mile long.
Oh yeah,
maybe more. I'm terrible
back and forth on it.
I'm terrible with distance, but anyway, I'm running down that flat. It's getting towards the end of the day, and I'm doing decent, have a limit and all that. And Andrew asked, hey, do you mind if I swing by there if I need an extra fish or something? And I told Andrew, it's like, hey, no problem, no problem.
All the time. This is my start spot in '88.
And we're throwing dippers, which is a small swim bait, and you just turn the trolling motor on like 6 or 7 and go, and just cast, and it's thousands of casts, and a day, really, literally. Somebody actually, just sat there. Justin Laughlin counted how many casts I do in a minute, and then multiplied it by how many minutes in the day.
Yeah,
and it was thousands. And it was like, oh, no wonder my neck's jacked,
like Roy
my shoulders jacked. Yeah. Well, you're still feeling it.
Oh, I'm hurting.
So anyway, back to the story. Of course, we're all trying to help each other out, but Andrew pulls right in front of me.
Not true.
What's your story there, Andrew?
I was over 100 yards away from the guy.
100 yards.
He was still coming down the bank, and I thought, well, I'm far enough away here. I'll just pull in here, stay out of his way. Good friend of mine, I don't want to hurt him at all, so I'll just try to go in this little tiny quarter. Doesn't even look like a spot that would hold fish, so I'll just come over here somewhere he probably won't even.
You know what upsets me about this story? You know what upsets me about this story? My name's not mentioned in this. You know why? Because you guys didn't tell me about this spot. This is bull.
You knew about the spot. You had your own spots, but anyway, you didn't have to poach other people's spots.
Oh, yeah.
He pulls in front of me and catches a 2.5 pounder, which is
a beautiful smallmouth.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Hey, I'm proud of you. Good job.
Oh yeah.
It didn't come out that way when you said it.
No, it was fine.
That's crazy how bass fishing has evolved and how those kind of things work. I'm glad that we've always been able to help each other and evolve and do those kind of things. But boy, it sure has gotten complicated nowadays with the things that are happening. If you get information, if you get it from the wrong people are getting disqualified. I mean, I feel like it's gotten overly complicated.
Well,
it's just bass fishing.
You're right. And I think as long as it's competitors in the event, like if we're all competing against each other, we can help each other out. But anything outside of that.
Well, I remember one of the Clear Lake Opens. We sharing information. Well, yeah, but won a boat actually.
Awesome.
But let me tell you how I won the boat and why I won the boat. you know, we were all sharing info, and I was catching them on frogs. And I told Johnny, it's like, oh, they're decent fish, 3 and 4 pounders, which isn't really a decent fish at Clear Lake anymore, it seems, or ever, I guess. I mean, I caught an 8 and a 10 pounder back to back on a drop shot on one of them. But this tournament was tougher fishing, and I told Johnny, it's like, hey, I'm catching some good fish on frogs around the docks and all that stuff, and you know, but I was struggling. The bites were few and far between, but I got some good bites here and there. But you were throwing Senkos, because that's what White Mountain guys do a lot, is Senkos, and you're darn good at it. And I don't have the patience for it. I do not like throwing them. It's just, but you have to. But so anyway, you told me an area. You told me an area, across the lake where, you were pitching in the reeds, and there's some fish on beds, and you even said they weren't giant fish, but if I needed fish, that's a place to go. So long story short, I went up there, and it's just not my thing. I'm just not catching anything, and I'm like, you know what? Forget about this. So we go to leave, and the grass, as I'm leaving, out more towards the middle of the lake, was so thick and just matted. I didn't want to suck it all into my motor and everything, so I put my trolling motor down to get out of the grass before I put fire up the big engine again. And my co-angler, luckily, was a local guy. And shoot, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but anyway, he's just sitting there in this sit-down seat, next to me, and he just peeks over the side and goes, this grass doesn't look half bad. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. I said, you think we should fish it? He's fished the lake 1,000 times more than I have.
Yeah.
He goes, you know what? Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. So we get out there and start fishing, and after the third cast, I'm already ready to go. It's like, I'm thinking, why don't we just go to a spot that I have confidence in? Well, he sticks a 6-pounder. Now I'm listening. I'm like, what'd you catch him on? What, I was like, all that. He goes, oh, just a drop shot. He was, he was using 10-pound line with his drop shot and a fat oxblood roboworm.
This was the first day of the tournament, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically what was going on is that grass was just thick. Not matted like he had to punch it, but thick. But there was holes in the grass. And now that, or when we started thinking about it, it's like, those could be beds they're fanning out. They're causing those holes in the grass.
Because it was shallow out there.
Oh, yeah. It was still, 7-8 foot, something like that. But anyway, so I bit my Senko off as fast as I could and tied that drop shot on. And then I caught a 5.5. He caught another good one. So anyway.
And it's a shared weight program.
Yeah, shared weight. So I'm doing the math. I'm looking at the scale. It's like, geez, I have 24 pounds, whatever I had. And I caught another 5-pounder, and I hang it on the scale, and it didn't even cull. It didn't even get rid of any other fish that I had in the live well. And after the second one, 5-pounder, that wouldn't help us, I'm just going, man, I'm letting 5-pounders go. It just hurts to let them go.
Time to move.
Like I literally opened the lid in the live well and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make sure I had my limit before I let this next 5-pounder go. Yeah. And I looked at my co-angler and I said, man, I got 2 more days. Maybe I should leave these fish alone. And he looks at me and goes, you think? Yeah, so anyway, we ended up sticking it out. And
nobody, I will say this, because I was back up in those reeds, I could see you out there in the middle, and nobody was out there with you guys. I mean, at the first day.
Yeah.
The second day was a whole different ball game.
Well, there was one boat the first day that caught his limit and got smart and left, like I should have done sooner.
Yeah.
But he did real well too. That Patrick Toohey was out there with me, but he left it alone. But yeah, so anyway, it's a learning experience. But yeah, just the Clear Lake's just awesome. I mean, what did I have? 80 pounds for 3 days for 15 fish. It's just crazy.
It was crazy.
So yeah, but Clear Lake's awesome, and the Delta. I mean,
oh, we love the Delta.
We got a story about the Delta.
Oh man.
But anyway, my story is, or our story was where we camped. There wasn't a launch ramp.
No,
that was the craziest thing.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Get your thing and put it on that elevator thing to drop it into the water.
Yeah, you had to unhook your boat with the trailer.
I've seen that. That was amazing.
Unhook the trailer on a hoist and drop it into the water, and your boat floats off. It's like, that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
And then shoot, the whole big basin of the, the area at the Delta, is what, 6 foot of water?
All the way across. You got to be careful not to hit a tractor or something.
Yeah, they have old tractors that were submerged, because I guess it's just a lake that, had levees that, that broke and flooded this farmland. So it's just big areas of farmland, and then miles and miles of canals.
It was crazy to see it for the first time. I remember a walrus coming right up next to me. I think that's what they were.
They're sea lions.
Sea lions. Idea that stuff was out there. Incredible. I'm thinking fresh water. We got dinosaurs out here.
Well, let me tell you about that too. Discovery Bay, I was catching solid fish. Fishing was a little tougher, and I pre-fished and caught some fish, left them alone. I came back the last day of practice just to shake some fish off and check. Big old sea lion, big old belly, biggest belly, laying on the dock, just passed out. And it's like, man, I think he's dead. And I was pre-fishing with Rick Mason. And, of course, we're just looking at him. We get a little closer, and he takes his rod and just pokes him in the belly. He got up and hissed at us. I mean, showed his big teeth, and it's like, I couldn't turn that trolling motor fast enough, and it's like...
I don't think you'd have been able to outrun that thing once it got in the water.
Yeah, it was crazy. But long story short on that, there wasn't a fish left in that bay. It was just an isolated bay, and that sea lion just ate everything that was in there. Oh, terribly.
Wow.
Terribly.
Biggest mistake they did that time we were there that one time was have the Bassmaster Elite and having us practice on their first day.
Oh, I know.
I remember that.
I was afraid to do anything. Every time I pulled in somewhere, you'd see some of these guys coming in, and I'm like, I don't want to take their fish from them, but we got to practice too. We got to try to win our tournament.
Right.
That was a rough one. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like the way that was set up.
The first time I ever seen Van Damme on the water.
Yes.
I remember following his boat. I just caught myself because I wanted to watch the show, and I just caught myself. He went one place, and I just went there and just sat and watched. Like, wow, he's a regular guy. He fishes like we do. He's not doing anything, miraculous or crazy. He's just a grunt fisherman putting his head down and going.
Yeah. There's so much to tournament fishing with even, the mental part that people don't even think about. You get spun out and all that.
You can get intimidated really fast when you got those big names around you.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
Schurs and the Johnsons.
Oh, yeah. We got to flip into another break. We're here on Fox Sports 910.
From the mountains of Montana to the shores of Hawaii, this ain't your grandma's coffee talk. It's 406 Coffee and Chaos, where rifles roar, coffee pours, and aloha meets the wild western soul. We are slinging truth, gear, and attitude served with a side of mayhem. Grab a cup, brace yourself, and let the madness begin. 406 Coffee and Chaos brewed with aloha, seasoned in gunpowder, served up straight from the big sky. 406coffeeandchaos.com or on Facebook at 406 Coffee and Chaos.
Here is a great way to help Arizona's wildlife conservation efforts. Put an AZ Wildlife Conservation license plate on your car, truck, or RV and show the world you care. When you do, you are contributing to the AZ Wildlife Conservation Fund, which manages grants for habitat improvements and hunter-angler recruitment. Simply go online to servicearizona.com and select the AZ Wildlife Conservation plate for your license plate renewal. Show the world you care.
In today's world, personal and family safety, home and business are at risk. Roll Shutter Systems Shutters protects your family, home, and business assets, providing security, privacy, weather protection, noise reduction, and all built for specific needs. Roll Shutter Systems is family owned and operated for 40 years and manufactured in Phoenix, Arizona. They ship and install throughout the USA, Canada, and Mexico. For your free estimate, click rollshuttersystemsusa.com or call 623-869-7057.
Arizona Catalog, the official magazine of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association monthly publication, provides essential updates on issues impacting the ranching industry in our great state and nationally. The Arizona Catalog provides industry news from the University of Arizona, National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the Arizona Farm Bureau, National and Arizona Department of Agriculture, and others. Timely notifications of legislation on local, state, and federal levels, as well as other issues that may affect the ranching community. Spotlight on rancher highlights, activities, events, events and dialogue from our president, executive director. Board members fight the fight for you. Regular features include cattle growers reports, cattle comments, activities for kids, and animal health. The Arizona Catalog Monthly Magazine is created by ranchers for ranchers. Get your subscription today at azcattlegrowers.org or call 602-267-1129 and then ask how you can join the Arizona Cattle Growers Association. What's on your plate?
I'm Officer Kenny D. with the Arizona Game and Fish Department's Operation Game Thief program. The bad boys that poach the animals that are displayed in this trailer thought they could get away with it. They killed the animals and took them home and they thought they were safe. But these criminals forgot one thing. We make house calls.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years.
He was in big trouble.
We're going to take your house, garnish your pay.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm.
I don't owe the IRS anymore. It was because of Optima Tax.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011.
Optima Tax Relief.
Actual client compensated for sharing their experience. Visit OptimaTaxRelief.com for details.
Sports lives on the iHeartRadio app, the official audio home of NBC's coverage of the Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. Fox Sports Radio, ESPN, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, and iHeart is the home of the NFL Podcast Network. Just search sports on the free iHeartRadio app and listen now.
It's time.
Boyd's Gun Stocks, makers of the adjustable agility and at-one stock for your favorite long gun. Head to Boyd'sGunstocks.com for more details. Build with Boyd's. Show us your rack. How big is that elk, whitetail, moose, or mule deer? In the world of big game hunting, there's nothing better than having your rack on the wall and shown around the outdoor world. Head to huntingfishing.com and show us your rack. Now back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910.
Hey everybody, this is Matt Shura with Don being out of town. I'm with my good buddies Andrew Napoleon, Johnny Johnson, and like I said, we got some stories. And on the break, we were just talking about the, it's not really a controversy with the life jackets. If they have the inflatable life jackets. There's manual inflatable, which. If you get knocked unconscious, I want it to be automatic, but personally, and I think it's a law. I don't know because Johnny and I wear the regular life jacket.
Yeah, I like the padding, and I wear you hit the nail right on the head. The reason why I like it. So go ahead and tell them.
Yeah, well, it just if I get thrown on the boat, you have that protection. It's like pads.
Yeah.
So if you bounce off the console on the way in, there's padding, and number two, they float. Those you're going to float. So. As a matter of fact, you use the auto.
I use the Mustang, yeah. I like the one that's automatic. It's got the CO2 cylinder in it. So the only bad thing is I've had that thing go off automatically all by itself when we were in a rainstorm and the water was coming down and just a little bit over-drenched. And, completely soaked. And I'm sitting there having a talk with my co-sitting next to me, and the thing just pops. You scared him, scares me.
Scared. It's loud.
And it took about an hour for me to reload it, get it put away, roll back up, and so I lost that whole hour of the tournament. We were at Clear Lake, if I remember correctly, and it was coming down.
Yeah, there was a tournament, I believe it was Shasta, because it always seems to rain there when I've been there. I've
never been to that lake.
I've been beautiful lake.
Yeah.
And you can catch 50 fish a day. I'd catch 50 fish a day, but weigh 8 pounds. It's kind of like a Bartlett. But anyway, I just remember, I don't think I wasn't at this tournament, but I just heard the stories of a, torrential downpour, like tournament delay, raining so hard. And, there was fog too, obviously, in areas of the lake. But, there was like 15 or so, everybody's got these life jackets on, just getting ready for it. And all of a sudden you just see, boom! And it was like, everybody. My story with it, because those are those are nice. Those are nice to wear, but I tried them and I went to stand up and it went off. And I'm at the weigh-in in front of everybody, and anyway, it went off and scared the crap out of me, and everybody's looking at me. But I guess we got Chris Rich on the phone. Sorry about that, Chris. How you doing, buddy?
We've always got our primer to fly fishing class at 2 hours, 0 to hero in 2 hours. It's a class the fish don't want you to know about. This coming weekend, Friday and Saturday, we've got Winston Days at AZ Fly Shop. So it's our 5th annual Winston Days, and Winston Fly Rods has made a special logo for this event this year to celebrate 5 years of a relationship with AZ Fly Shop. Friday afternoon, we're going to have a happy hour in the shop from 4:30 to 6:30. RSVP at azflyshop.com. And then Saturday, we're going to be in the park most of the day, not the whole day. Go to the website for details. Probably be in the park for about 10 to 2:30. Cast and Winston Fly Rods. The pros from Winston will be down here. We'll have FFI certified instructors. And it's just a great time to come out. If you want to tune up on your fly cast, there's going to be guys and gals there that can help you tune up. If you want to learn to fly cast, great. And Winston, just for showing up, they're going to enter you into a free raffle for a $1,000 fly rod. Super nice of them to do that. They've also donated a fly rod that we're raffling off in the shop, and all the raffle proceeds are going to provide scholarships for kids at the Trout Unlimited Fly Fishing Summer Camp. So super excited about what we've got going on at the shop, and I'm, hey, I went out to, as far as fishing goes, I went out to Horseshoe yesterday. Nice day, beautiful day, glass on the lake, and for some reason, I always kind of get chomping at the bit. I think those bass ought to get going early. I don't know if you ever go through that yourself in the springtime.
Yeah.
But it seems like, get those bass going. Come on. No, they're not going yet. They're not going.
Yeah. So you didn't catch any?
We didn't get anything. We didn't see anything. I saw a few carp. There was a lot of carp activity, but they weren't feeding, just doing their little plop on top of the water. But we didn't see any bass activity at all. In fact, there was a few guys out there with their bass boats, and they didn't have any activity either. So,
well, how low is the lake?
Recently, it's down to right now to about 50% right now.
There's still quite a bit of water in, because I know they've let a lot out a while back for Bartlett.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they supposed to be combining those two lakes?
The water looks fantastic.
Yeah.
But they did let a lot of water out. It's cleared up. It's not no algae on it. It's pretty clear water looking into it. Just a little cold right now.
Yeah.
Mid-50s is what it is. About 55 degrees out there.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, we're hoping a couple more weeks. We'll see what this weather does. I know we got some cold fronts coming through next week and all that, but
I tell you, I read one meteorologist report that claimed that Colorado could see up to 10 feet of snow from this storm coming in.
What? Are you serious? Wow. That would help.
Well,
a lot of snow.
People say a lot of different things. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, somebody said it. I heard them. Some report. I mean, somebody's got to be the odd guy out, and I hope this guy's right. I hope we get our year's worth of snow in the next couple weeks, but pretty unlikely, I think, at this point. But
gosh, I hope so.
I'll be doing my part to do the rain dance.
I'll join you. You been up north at all, or any of the canals?
You know what? The canals just started getting filled up. I see that SRP dumped in a bunch of grass carp to supplement what's already in there. But they've been doing their annual maintenance on the canals, and then the last week or week and a half, they've started to fill them up. So the canals are real muddy right now. I'm going to wait for them to clear up just a little bit, but this is a great time to be thinking about chasing the grass carp on the canal because, you know, once the temperature starts to warm up in that water, they'll start to get active again. And, you know, we're not in the middle of the summer, so it's a real nice time to get out. The weather's nice. They'll get more active as the water heats up, but I like to chase them in the shoulder season as they just get going. So I haven't been out. I talked to guys that have been out. One of the things that happens when they come in and they maintain these canals is they pick up all the carp and they move them to other sections where they're keeping water. And so, you know, we figure out where all the carp are at, and then SRP comes in and moves them around, plays games on them. So we got to get out there and figure out where are they. So, but that season is right around the corner, really. I mean, it's going to be coming up soon, and it's a fun thing. Heck, I always honk my horn and wave at Johnny Johnson when I drive by there to go to Rainbow Lake to chase those grass carp up there.
Are you taking them out of there, I hope?
Out of Rainbow?
Yeah, they put way too many in there. I hate to say it. I hate to call them out on that, but they killed my lake, man. I grew up on that lake, and they literally destroyed that lake.
When I was a kid, I remember going there and just catching bass after bass. Yep. It was a beautiful, clear lake, full of weeds.
Now it's a mud pond with nothing.
Yeah, they totally ruined it.
You can walk across the carp.
I'm making the best of the situation because we'll go out there and chase those grass carp because that's all there is to chase in there now, but...
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. That was a great lake, man. They kind of overthought that.
It really was. It really was. Yeah, it was. So anyhow, that's what's going on around the shop, guys. Matt, you got anything else for me?
Yeah, I just always good talking to you, and man, that you know, people. I just was thinking, you know, people just aren't catching fish. I got hooked on fishing by catching 50, 60 bluegills in the morning with my dad, and just loved doing that. And I think that, you know, especially with your fly fishing stuff and catching those carp, you know, just like you say, you know, you always say it, you know, tackle boxes, not Xboxes. And, you know, I couldn't agree more, but you got to get those kids catching fish. So, you know, I think you're doing a great thing, and you know the single moms and all that, you know, that don't really know about fishing, they can come see you and you can get them hooked up, right?
Absolutely. We believe the world would be a better place if there were more people fishing. I often say fly fishing, but quite frankly, if we had more people on the water fishing, I think the world would be a better place.
I agree.
You know, I know we get out there on the water, whether we're competing for bass or we're fly fishing, competing with our buddies, or whatever reason we're out there on the water. You know, hey, our PFD blew up because it was this. We complain and we got our little problems and our little glitches. But in reality, if you think about it, the real problems, they're not out there on the water with us, are they?
Something.
They're not. They're with you, the water.
And get out there. We'll get out there and catch some fish. And spring's right around the corner. But thanks for talking to us, and we will see you next time.
You bet, guys. Hey, you're doing a great job on the show. Keep having fun, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, buddy. Well, hey, we got to flip and do another break, and we will be back on Fox Sports 910.
Awesome.
It's time to join the Howl Pack. In 2025, Howl for Wildlife campaigns will inspire advocacy, influence decision makers, and build resistance to the constant attacks from the anti-hunting industry. Howl is committed to protecting hunting, angling, and trapping opportunities nationwide, and we invite you to join the Howl Pack. Howl for Wildlife is committed to winning. Visit howlforwildlife.org to learn more and join the pack.
Thanks for calling Grand Avenue Mini Store.
over on the left coast. Malahini has a long and proud tradition of dependable service and with the goal of your success on the water. Captains Bill Wilkerson, Mike Schmidt, and Mike Zayak will utilize their extensive skills and the latest technology to put you on fish. The tuna season is in full swing right now. Yeah, right now. Spend a day on the water on the premier 3/4 day sport fishing boat on the left coast, Malahini Sport Fishing. Don't miss the boat or the fish. Book Malahini now at hmlanding.com or call him at 619-222-1144. Hey, I'm Don McDowell, and I fish Malahini.
Hey, I heard that. Did you? If you didn't, you can get the weekly news Heard That from the AZ Cattle Growers Association to be informed about Arizona cattle growers news in our great state. Learn about events happening each month, legislation roundups and cattle news range highlights, and the monthly recap and member highlights. Sign up for the newsletter by contacting the ACGA staff at 602-267-1129 and learn more about joining the ACGA or advertising in the weekly newsletter Heard That. ACGA 602-267-1129.
If you're a rancher, farmer, or involved in wildlife habitat enhancement, then you need to know Southwest Ranch Supply for your needs. Southwest Ranch Supply is a distributor for quality American-made products. Vertical and direct burial water tanks, Numex polypipe, RDF aluminum troughs and spring boxes, Rainmaker drinkers, Western Clay bentonite and pond seal, Redmond agricultural salt and minerals in bulk or block, solar well conversion, panels, pumps, and structural panel supports. Contact us at southwestranchsupply.com or 623-221-7655 for your free project survey and estimate to stretch your project budget and ensure you have the right products for your projects. We run full truckloads, split truckloads, and deliver direct to your allotment. Southwest Ranch Supply is your partner in conservation. 623-221-7655. Again, contact us at southwestranchsupply.com or 623-221-7655. Southwest Ranch Supply, proud member of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Liquid Death Sparkling Energy, the better for you, easy drinking energy drink.
Back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910 and always on our free iHeartRadio app. Here's the Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
No matter what boat or watercraft.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Shura filling in for Don McDowell with Andrew Napoleon and Johnny Johnson. And we have my good friend Jim Guggenauer on the phone, Arizona Game and Fish Commissioner. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Matt, Johnny, and Andrew. It's like having a Rat Pack on. Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking what a beautiful day it is up here in Payson. We should be all on the water rather than sitting here on a radio show.
Yeah, I hear you.
Been a little tough out there for us, buddy.
It has. I mean, weather changing, and especially with a front coming in next week, as you guys all know, it's all those conditions can have a factor there. But Roosevelt Lake, I don't know if you talked about this earlier, Matt, we're still at 46% full. It's been at that level for the last couple of months. The thing that's different is both the salt and the Tonto are just every week, it seems like the cubic feet per second that those two inflows into Roosevelt Lake, they're slowing down every week. It's at 44% today on the salt and about 38% on the Tonto Creek. So we're really hopeful we get some snow up on the rim, get some rainfall onto the watershed. I mean, we need it desperately down there.
Sounds like it's coming, hopefully.
Yeah, I saw that. You know, the other thing that I'm watching, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm looking at the lake levels of like Apache Canyon and Saguaro, and they're in the mid to low 90% full. And it seems to me they typically keep those lakes at 98, 99% full, especially Saguaro. So I don't know if Bureau of Reclamation, Salt River, if they're trying to keep as much water into Roosevelt as they can, but it just seems like a change this year.
Yeah, I was just at Apache last week, and it's at least 6-7 foot down. I noticed that. So interesting.
Yeah.
But hey, on Roosevelt, real quick, I just wanted to tell you, I got some good buddies that, a guy named Tim that guides out at Roosevelt, and they're catching really good crappie on the bright side. They're out there. The crappie fishing's been pretty good if you know what you're doing. Obviously you have the forward-facing sonar and all that, but he's been doing some trips, and he's been getting, I think, anywhere from 20 to 25 fish a day average. So that's a bright side in the fishing right now.
Yeah, I've kind of heard that too. And I tell people that ask me about crappie fishing down there, just look for where the boats are. And if you see one like out in the middle that looks kind of strange, you ought to go out there and check that out.
The water mooches. What do they call them? The fishing vultures.
Water mooch.
I can tell you, guys like me, when I'm fishing Roosevelt Lake, if I see one of your 3 boats go by and it's got one of those wraps on it, I'm going to follow you.
Yeah, that's the problem. I've been trying to get Andrew to get me something a little different color for just tournaments, but he don't want to keep wrapping the boat.
You don't like pink. I've been trying to get a different color, a little pink.
Real quick before I forget, Don wanted me to tell you to watch Alex Bowman in NASCAR. So I just wanted to make sure I got that out before I forgot.
He always picks the wrong driver. I mean, if he's going to bet money, you got to be betting money on Kyle Busch today. He always gets these weird picks on NASCAR, and he never wins.
What about Chase Elliott?
You know what? He could be a contender today for sure.
Where are they racing today?
So,
Daytona.
They moved it.
It's the Daytona 500.
500 is today, and they moved the start time out to avoid a storm that's coming through. So I think it's on like at 11 o'clock this morning.
Right after my fishing show.
Yeah, if you're not fishing today, watch that. Hey, Matt, I want to give you a couple updates on the commission, if I could.
Yes, please.
The first thing is that Governor Hobbs, I think most people know now, has nominated Jessica Manuel to be the next commissioner. Each commissioner serves a 5-year term, so every year one goes off and a new one comes on. Jessica is from Parks, Arizona, and she's going to be replacing Clay Hernandez. The good news is that she is scheduled for her interview with the Senate Natural Resource Committee because she has to be confirmed by the full Senate after that. But her interview is scheduled for February 17th this week. So looking forward to that. I'm sure she'll pass with flying colors and hopefully get a Senate vote and take her seat during the March meeting. The second thing is the following day, February 18th, is the Arizona Game and Fish Legislative Day down at the Capitol. So people are down around that way, stop by and say hello. All the commissioners will be there, a lot of game and fish, a lot of activities and booths set up. It's a pretty big day for the Game and Fish Department.
Awesome.
You said that was downtown at the Capitol?
Yeah, it's right on the Capitol lawn, the Boland Plaza area, if you're familiar with that. Right across
right by the big anchor.
Yeah, right there.
So
it's always a good time out there. We've been spending a lot of time down at the Capitol. There are 19 bills that have been submitted by different representatives and senators that relate to the Game and Fish Department. So we're spending a lot of time down there, appearing before subcommittees, talking about pros and cons of some of the legislation. Some of it's good, some of it needs some rewriting and some help with that. But it's always fun talking to the legislators down there and getting to talk to them about the Arizona Game and Fish Commission.
Awesome.
I bet there's a lot to talk about, about these lakes.
Especially the last couple of years, you're right, John. There has been a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Anything else on your end? Yeah.
No, great show. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for all what you do for the fishing community. I mean, for the radio audience out there, I mean, these three guys, they're the best of the best. Anytime you get a chance to meet one of them, you ought to go and do it.
Oh, we appreciate that. We sure appreciate what you do out there. And, man, I'll tell you, those Christmas trees in Apache, I can't wait to see what that does. It's going to, 1,700 trees, and we were out there just looking at them all. They're just stacked out there, and that's just, I just think after this, this spawn should be, since the water level doesn't fluctuate, like it does at Roosevelt, should be just an awesome spawn, and those trees are just going to blow that lake up, in my opinion.
Any word on the smallmouth that they stocked in there? They did stock smallmouth, right?
Yep.
Any word?
No, we didn't. It was, 250? What did we stock, Jim? Do you remember the count?
I think it was in the hundreds. I don't remember, but yes, the Game and Fish Department. A lot of people don't realize this. They stock warm and cold water fish, and over 750,000 pounds of fish get stocked every year by the Arizona Game and Fish Department, including smallmouths that they purchase and they raise at some of their hatcheries. And they even have Florida strain bass at one of their hatcheries that they're raising because so many people around the state want those fish now.
Well, could you give us the addresses to those hatcheries so we could go catch a fish?
Yeah.
You know what? I have that information, Johnny, and I'll sell it to you for, just a minimal price.
Hey, I'm thinking of a show.
Well, Jim, it's always good talking to you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the NASCAR, and we got to wrap it up here and flip into a break. So we appreciate you.
Will do. Thanks, Matt.
All right.
See you, Jim.
Here we are. We're going to flip into a break on Fox Sports 910.
No matter what boat or watercraft you drive, your safety starts with the proper personal flotation devices for you and the people aboard your vessel. Hey, I'm Don McDowell, professional angler and saltwater fisherman and United States Coast Guard Auxiliaries, Flotilla 1011 Guardians of the Southwest. Mustang Survival PFDs are our only choice when enjoying our own watercraft or saving lives. Our lives depend on Mustang survival gear, and so does yours. Boat safe, boat smart, boat with Mustang. Your life may depend on it. Available locally at Sportsman's Warehouse, I-17 and Yorkshire Drive.
In today's world, personal and family safety, home and business are at risk. Roll Shutter Systems shutters protects your family, home, and business assets, providing security, privacy, weather protection, noise reduction, and all built for specific needs. Roll Shutter Systems is family owned and operated for 40 years and manufactured in Phoenix, Arizona. They ship and install throughout the USA, Canada, and Mexico. For your free estimate, click RollShutterSystemsUSA.com or call 623-869-7057.
It's time to join the Howl Pack. In 2025, Howl for Wildlife campaigns will inspire advocacy, influence decision makers, and build resistance to the constant attacks from the anti-hunting industry. Howl is committed to protecting hunting, angling, and trapping opportunities nationwide, and we invite you to join the Howl Pack. Howl for Wildlife is committed to winning. Visit howlforwildlife.org to learn more and join the pack.
Here is a great way to help Arizona's wildlife conservation efforts. Put an AZ Wildlife Conservation license plate on your car, truck, or RV and show the world you care. When you do, you are contributing to the AZ Wildlife Conservation Fund, which manages grants for habitat improvements and hunter-angler recruitment. Simply go online to servicearizona.com and select the AZ Wildlife Conservation plate for your license plate renewal. Show the world you care.
Arizona Catalog, the official magazine of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association monthly publication, provides essential updates on issues impacting the ranching industry in our great state and nationally. The Arizona Catalog provides industry news from the University of Arizona, National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the Arizona Farm Bureau, National and Arizona Department of Agriculture, and others. Timely notifications of legislation on local, state, and federal levels, as well as other issues that may affect the ranching community. Spotlight on rancher highlights, activities, events, and dialogue from our president, executive director. Board members fight the fight for you. Regular features include cattle growers reports, cattle comments, activities for kids, and animal health. The Arizona Catalog monthly magazine is created by ranchers for ranchers. Get your subscription today at azcattlegrowers.org. Or call 602-267-1129 and then ask how you can join the Arizona Cattle Growers Association. What's on your plate?
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Every Olympic dream starts with a first glide. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build confidence, strength, and joy on the ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com.
If you love the outdoors, make sure you sign up for the weekly hunting fishing newsletter to stay up to date with the latest outdoorsman news across the nation. Sign up today at huntingfishing.com. Now back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910.
All right, everybody, we're back. I'm Matt Shura filling in for Don McDowell with good friends Andrew DePoli and Johnny Johnson. And I wanted to talk about a couple wins we had. I mentioned the Clear Lake win, and it was a big tournament. I won an 18-foot boat with a 150 and some money. I think it was almost a $50,000 win, and
that was huge.
We talked about it, and
that was in 2014.
Yeah, and I can't remember how many boats there were. There was a lot of boats, and to go in a lake that's unfamiliar and everything, and win that tournament.
That was my first time, I think.
Yeah,
on that lake.
Yeah,
you talked me into going.
Well,
so you could take my money.
I think I took sixth place. I think I took sixth place there the year before. And it's just the lake where you can fish your strengths. If you like to drop shot, you can catch 5-pounders on a drop shot. If you like to throw frogs, you can catch 5-pounders on a frog. Andrew, what do you like to throw there?
Swim bait.
Yes. Well,
I wish I was much better with it. There's so many new aspects to the swim bait bite now, but I still just enjoy chucking and winding. I got to learn a little bit more about where to go and what to do, but I still enjoy throwing those swim baits out there. You catch some beautiful fish.
And then Johnny around the corner is catching giants on Senkos.
Yeah.
I love that.
But we have to talk about your U.S. Open win. The biggest tournament in the West Coast. How many? Do you remember how many boats were there at that tournament you won?
187 or 188 then. It was one of the biggest. It was the biggest U.S. Open at that time. They surpassed it. They went up to 250 like a couple years after that.
Did they?
Oh, it's such a great Lake Mead. It's the equalizer.
Yeah. I wish they would take the U.S. Open back to Lake Mead because it at least gave me a chance there. If I can't scope, the
weights were tighter.
What they say, if you're not scoping, you're hoping.
The weights were tighter. You could be going into the third day and you could be 3-4 pounds out of it and be in 80th place and still have a shot to win.
Yeah, and it's just one of the most challenging fisheries. And Rick Clunn said that. Yeah. And, he's said it's just one of the most challenging lakes. It's and you wake up in the morning and the wind's supposed to pick up and you got a 50-minute run, 45-mile run, and your 50-minute run, 45-minute run, let's say, if that wind picks up to 20, 25, depending on which direction it's blowing,
get a little rough out there.
That 45-minute drive turns into a 2-hour drive. And ask me how I know, and my back will tell you. Yeah. My back will tell you because there's just no.
All our spots are always across the big basin, aren't they?
Yeah. I remember a guy. The water got so bad, and he didn't have experience. Remember that guy?
I remember that.
He didn't have experience, and he was all the way down by Temple Bar. We launched at Colville.
Yeah.
He was all the way down by Temple Bar, and he started going, and he turned right around, went to Temple Bar, and just threw his fish back, and had somebody bring him his trailer. because he was, so scared.
It's your first time out there in that kind of water. It's like you're on the ocean.
It can be intimidating. I've been in some situations coming behind you. I think we got caught at Mojave in a storm, and it was just by a few minutes that we got caught in it. But
that was your fault.
I was following him.
No, I was trying. I told you the wind's coming, and let me make one more cast. I sat there and waited on him, and we got caught in it.
Oh, it was bad. The rollers came in, and you started throwing your boat around. You think you're going to control it or just plow right through it. Mother Nature can control things a lot more than you can.
And I don't exaggerate on the wave size, and I really don't know how big they were, but I guarantee they were 6-footers that I got caught in.
Oh, yeah.
Where you have to ride the troughs, and when you get in that trough,
where was that,
there's
man?
water way over here, Lake Mead.
Oh, yeah?
In the basin.
You're
the big
basically
basin,
surfing
Virgin
with
Basin.
your bass boat. Is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, you have to zigzag, and then you start jumping them, hope you land on them right, and if you don't, you're going to get wet. Your boat turns into a submarine real quick.
Is that one of the worst storms that you've been in?
It wasn't even a storm, it was just wind.
Oh, really? It was just wind?
Yeah, just that wind picked up to, 25 or whatever, and it would, if it blows, I believe, out of the north, that's when it gets really bad coming out of the Overton and all that stuff, or from the
I had
north.
the worst. You talk about the wind that I had there for the U.S. Open. I had the worst practice I have probably ever had in bass fishing. I mean, we usually show up, plenty of time to find fish, figure it out, and I just could not get nothing going, man. And I'm watching Matt showing me pictures of everybody out there catching a 4-pounder. They're on them. I'm like, oh, man. I remember you asking, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to put a drop shot in my hand, and it ain't coming out. I don't know what else to do. And then I turned around and win it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I found a pattern with it.
It wasn't the year you won it, I don't think, because you were with Cousin Kenny, and I was out there drop shot.
Yeah.
And I literally caught nothing.
Oh.
I think I went 2 days without catching anything.
Yeah.
And you threw me a pack of those little Ned rigs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and not 15 minutes later, I caught one on it. It wasn't a big one or anything. But
it's catching out there sometimes.
And I think I caught a limit, and did okay. But that tournament, there's certain times where they want it on the bottom.
Yeah.
They really want it on the bottom, and sometimes that drop shot just doesn't work. So between the Ned rig and the drop shot, if the drop shot's not working, definitely try that Ned rig. And you just said that about Bartlett.
I really feel like if the bass are in a curious or neutral type zone feeling, that the drop shot, there's nothing that beats it. But there's times they're in that negative mode and they just sit on the bottom. You don't even see them on your scope unless they move, and they're just sitting on the bottom.
Yeah.
And that's when I think that Ned rig is just a killer.
Well, that U.S. Open win, a drop shot was a big part of your win, right? Just to put your limit in the boat.
Yeah.
But I know you caught some on the spinnerbait.
I did.
Better fish came on the spinnerbait. So
I caught average 1 or 2 fish. Well, the first day I had 7 pounds, and I was in 50. I'll never forget this. It's the biggest win. You can't forget it. 3-day tournament. I was sitting in 54th place with 7 pounds even. And I drop shotted the whole day and barely got my limit. But where I got my limit was up in the second narrows.
Right.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'll just go back there. And then I got to thinking a minute. Okay, I'm sitting in 54th place. There was one spot that I was catching a few fish, and I thought, what I'll do, because I figured I could catch a bigger fish on some kind of reaction bait. I'll throw the spinnerbait for like the first hour or two. And then I'll go when I started catching my drop shot fish at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? And then I'll finish the day out just doing that. So I always would catch after the second day. Then I'd catch a couple fish on the spinnerbait, and then I'd go right up there and finish my limit with the drop shot.
Right.
And so I did that the second day, and it put me at 9 pounds. And 9 pounds, believe this or not, 187, 188 boats was big bag of the day. I won $2,500 just for that, and it moved me up to 4th place. It moved me up to 4th place, so I won that day.
Wow!
And then
slow and steady.
And so in my mind, I'm thinking I'm just going to repeat that same pattern. And so I went out there and I gave myself exactly. This is why it's important to have some kind of foundation when you're fishing, having a plan of what you're going to do. I wasn't, like my wife would say, just willy-nilly doing anything. So I ended up going back, did the spinnerbait thing, caught another nice fish on the spinnerbait, and then I went up and I drop shotted. The problem is when you move from 54th to 4th, everybody's on that water now. All the people that were laughing at me and stuff going by, going up into Greg's, they'd see my boat sitting there, and I'd be the only one in those narrows. Now there's like 10, 12 boats in that area.
Well, it's hard to miss that bright chartreuse boat.
And so when I pulled in, I'm like, there's no place for me to fish.
Made him famous.
And so we really struggled. I had like 2 fish, and then I went to my spot, and I was able to catch 1 or something like that. And I told my partner, I says, man, we gotta move because we can't fish. We went straight across the water because the other side was blank. Nobody was fishing the other side of the narrows. And I caught a 3-pounder on a drop shot. And I said, oh my goodness. And then I went and caught one on a dipper on my way in just before I seen you.
Yeah, and I told you, how much weight do you have?
I said 11 pounds.
Yeah, I said, get your butt back to the ramp. You just,
long ways.
You just got this thing won. What if your battery dies? What if your motor craps
I was
out?
still 2 pounds behind. It scared me. So I tried to stay and catch some more fish.
I knew you had a one.
But yeah, I'm glad you followed me in.
Yeah,
Thanks, bud.
I followed you in. Well, you could have, and that's what's cool. You can throw your fish in. So, all right. Well, how much did you win, real quick?
$110 or $15,000.
How much of that you have left?
So,
IRS got it.
Yeah. So, hey, we got to wrap it up. I want to first thank Don McDowell for having me and trusting me, and thank Andrew and Johnny, and appreciate you listening. Thank you. We're Fox Sports 910.
On McDowell Outdoor Radio has been sponsored by Southwest Ranch Supply.
Hey, I heard that. Did you? If you didn't, you can get the weekly e-news Heard That from the AZ Cattle Growers Association to be informed about Arizona cattle growers news in our great state. Learn about events happening each month, legislation roundups and cattle news range highlights, and the monthly recap and member highlights. Sign up for the newsletter by contacting the ACGA staff at 602-267-1129 and learn more about joining the ACGA or advertising in the weekly newsletter Heard That. ACGA 602-267-1129.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose?